Every action figure line is driven by a gimmick, a marketable attribute or functionality, something that sets it apart from other action figures, something that makes it special like photorealistic face printing or super articulation, squirting water, transforming, or launching missiles. There are hundreds of gimmicks that have been invented to entice buyers to purchase something. But can a line survive without a gimmick? Can it survive if that's all it has? Is there life after a gimmick? The answers to all these questions is the Infaceables. In 1981, producers Norm Prescott and Lou Scheimer, along with animation company Filmation, introduced the world to John Blackstar, essentially a John Carter of Mars type hero. Displaced from Earth, wielding a magical power sword against the evil Overlord, who wields an almost identical magical power sword, they're two swords, the halves of one ancient magical relic called the Power Star. 13 episodes of Blackstar later, the world moved on. To Masters of the Universe. He-Man hit the toy shelves the following year in 1982. They were a big success, and in 1983, executive producer Lou Scheimer and Filmation produced the Masters of the Universe animated series, which resulted in an explosion of sales and a deluge of He-Man products, and a bunch of products that could be mistaken to be just as good as He-Man by your unsuspecting mom, grandmother, or well-meaning aunt. You say aunt or aunt? Don't say it like that. One of those He-Man-like products was John Blackstar action figures from Galoob. Even though it was 2 years since Blackstar's debut, that was no reason not to take a shot at selling some toys in a market begging for Blackstar-like toys, especially since they had glow-in-the-dark weapons and later a nifty flint-activated laser light sparking gimmick. In 1984, after a year of respectable sales riding He-Man's popularity, Galoob essentially expanded their Blackstar offerings with a sister line called the Infaceables, the mystic warriors of change.
Bestioid. Bestioid.
Entra anche tu nel mondo della metamorfosi e comanda il potere della mutazione con i bestioid, una forza che muta nelle tue mani, da uomo a bestia, per scatenare l'avventura.
Bestioid.
Entrano nel tuo mondo i bestioid, i nuovi eroi che si trasformano da uomo a bestia. Bestioid, solo da Linea Jig.
The Infaceables were roughly 6-inch scale figures with articulation identical to Blackstar. Shoulders, hips, the rest is up to your imagination. If you can imagine their heads turning, then they do. Even though they don't. Infaceables drew their name from the one-of-a-kind gimmick, the ability to dynamically change their faces, a transformation unlike anything Transformers had ever attempted, beyond the power of supernaturals, creepier than Power Lords, a shift that would make Zartan hang up his rubber face mask in shame. See, Infaceables' heads were comprised of a highly detailed understructure, overlaid with a thin, soft rubber, a stretchy, latexy membrane like a skin on top of a skull. The skull was hollow and had vent holes on the front, as skulls tend to do. A pipe from the head connected to a cavity inside the torso of the figure. There was a vacuum seal so that when you pulled down on the hips of the figure, a reverse expansion occurred, a suction inside the skull. When that happened, the thin membrane or skin on the face was pulled into the highly detailed crevasses of the skull, transforming the face from human or robot or whatever to beast or whatever. While the figures and vehicles were fully compatible with Blackstar, the Infaceables mythology was technically unrelated. Why bother paying a licensing fee when you don't have to? But it was also vague enough that you could pretty much plug it into whatever line you wanted to. Iron Lion leads the forces of good. Joining him in the battle against evil are Robash, the super strong robot, War Dog, the wild fighter, and Sphinx, the ancient champion of goodness who strikes like a cobra.
We didn't change the lights.
You want to turn them on now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, welcome to Toy Galaxy. It's a very professional operation. Tembo leads the dark side with help from Tuscus, the saber-toothed oceanic ogre, Brainor, the strategist whose brain pulses with evil, and Torto the Claw, the armored beast menacing the briny deep. I don't know, guys. I just read the cards. They're all in a war for control over Earth, so look out. Each figure's face transforms into something else. Iron Lion goes from a human to some kind of lion face. Robash from a robot to some other kind of robot, I think. Tembo becomes like a mammoth. Brainor is an alien cyborg or something. Torto the Claw is like some kind of tortoise man. Look, the point is, there's a more detailed face when the gimmick is activated, and some of them are truly impressive when you can appreciate those sculpted details as opposed to the smoothness of the painted rubbery faces. Each figure was packed with a single weapon. Each figure had one hand to hold and one hand to high five or shake or pat on the back, or perhaps just copying He-Man. 3 vehicles were included in the line: the Incredible Thrasher, the Horrible Hammer, and the Crusher Cruiser. The Crusher Cruiser was re-released in 1985 as part of Galoob's Defender of the Earth line of toys, a bonus sub-oddity within this pre-existing oddity. If you're looking to pick up some Infaceables, keep in mind that packaged samples are way more expensive because there's a chance that the face, the gimmick, is still intact. Loose almost never have much of a face left, certainly not an airtight seal to allow the gimmick to work properly. That said, figures that have lost their rubber faces, that can no longer properly execute the gimmick that made them so unique, actually reveal the true detailed horror that was hinted at when the gimmick was employed on a functional figure. The bone structure, the crevasses, the teeth and horns, the craftsmanship of those faces that was hidden from the beginning, only allowing for a temporary glimpse at what was underneath. Figures that no longer function because they have lost their faces, that have become unfaceables, are still fully functional action figures that now have faces more reflective of their names than ever before, truly more frightening visages than post-transformation. Though their gimmick is lost to the toll that time takes on us all, they have transformed into something which reveals the horrible beauty beneath their gimmick during the years, the decades before they were considered broken. That is truly unexpectedly odd. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thank you very much to those of you who already are. If you're in the position to help the channel grow, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/toygalaxy or become a channel member at youtube.com/toygalaxytv/join. Both Patreon and YouTube channel membership have the same exclusive content, so choose your own adventure. Please share this video and let us know in the comments down below what your Infaceables beast mode would be. I'm all human out here until it gets to time to fightin'. Then the monster robot lion face comes out, which, now that I think about it, that's just Voltron. It was not worth that joke. Oh man. Shit.